We're going to get this started, right? And first off, I want to apologize to everyone. For those of you, and quite a few of you have been to these events before, this room fills up completely. And Sharon and I and Jerome and Jim, we've had long conversations about this. I can't in good faith have an event larger than what we have here today. In fact, there are 3 events taking place. Each one of them is a half hour apart, where we asked that it just be the immediate family members. I recognize that while Earl and I may work last Saturday and take everything on in stride, there are people who are truly fearful of every little thing that goes around in their lives, including coming out of their homes at all. And so we have to be very aware and practice the best health and human services instructions that we can possibly do. That said, today is absolutely an enormous day for Earl. And so I'm so glad you folks are here. This room is filled. We even went to the point of saying, could we videotape it live and put it out? This room is filled with supporters and people who want to acknowledge and congratulate and celebrate with Earl. I joked with Earl a little bit. There's a little bit of truth to everything. I said, this was not your best performance year, and still he rose above everyone else. That says a lot for the man. That says a lot. And I highly respect him and have such a tremendous amount of confidence in the way he works well with others. I know that Captain Wall is in the back of the room, and Captain Wall has long relied on Earl. We have taken this town to new levels of accomplishment that in my coming up on 18 years I've been here, these have been long-standing goals. To have an efficiently run and effective traffic management program, and Earl got the first shot at that. To have protection in our schools for our students, and Earl got the first shot at that. These are critical issues for our community. That's not me, right? That was you? That was these are critical issues. How large of these are these? It was the last legislative session when it was brought forward, the notion, it died quickly, as you can see, to put an officer in every school in the state. The cost of doing something like that would have been enormous and unattainable. So we look to good people, highly qualified, great experience, highly motivated, that folks that can make great judgments and protect all of our students without breaking the back of the taxpayers. And Earl has just done a fantastic job of that, having the full confidence of the school district, the Board of Supervisors, and of course us, and it's a testament to why we're here right now at this point today. He is a strong leader, and we need that leadership in this department. And so with that, pretend like there's 500 people in this room. And we will push forward with the swearing in. As always, and as I have always attested, this oath of office is presented by me, but it is not to me. It is to his peers, his families, the community, the folks that live in this community, as well as those that come in and out of the community. We take this very seriously, and as I begin, Earl, again, I apologize for not allowing anyone else into the room, but that does not lessen this commitment. So, with that, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Earl Mays,
I, Earl Mays,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States
the Constitution and government of the United States
and the Constitution and government of the state of Nevada
and the Constitution
and government
and government of the state of Nevada
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
whether domestic or foreign,
whether domestic or foreign,
and that I will bear true faith,
that I will bear true faith,
allegiance, and loyalty to the same,
allegiance, and loyalty to the same,
any ordinance, resolution, or law
in ordinance, resolution, or law
of any state notwithstanding,
of any state notwithstanding,
and that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
perform all of the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of lieutenant
of the office of lieutenant,
in which I am about to enter, so help me
which
God.
I am about to enter, so help me God.
And to hell with everything else, congratulations and welcome aboard, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your turn. It's more difficult to do it on camera, huh? First off, I want to apologize, and I do mean that sincerely. This is so out of character, as you guys are aware of. This room has always been filled with supporters, peers, friends, families, and that is certainly what we wanted. And then we evolved to, well, maybe we could do this, and then maybe we could do that. But the fact of the matter is, as Jim and I would, and Sharon would attest, we spend the better part of our days under this pandemic caring for our employees and making sure that they remain safe and capable of doing their jobs. And I think that we've done a pretty good job so far. I would say that, maybe I'm a little biased, but it's because of the quality of the leadership inside this department that supports the path that we're on, which ends up being just a few of us in this room. And so, Morgan, I sincerely do apologize for this. This is so unlike anything I've ever experienced or expected in my time. That doesn't lessen today. In fact, it boosts today. Like with our seniors graduating high school, you become one of the group that was in that year, in that time period, and maybe soon we will come out of it and we will be able to rejoice and celebrate some more. You have had an extraordinary career, and Sharon, Jim, and I, and Jerome have all known that this event was going to take place. We knew this months ago. Keeping our mouth shut was a challenge. It certainly was a challenge. But you are so deserving of it. You have become a pillar in multi-jurisdictional responses, especially, and I do mean this, especially in the most critical events of officer-involved shootings and deaths. It is critical that we maintain a stance of unbiased reporting and investigations when agencies are involved. And we're very, very concerned about that. Other agencies have asked if they could join in with us, and the responses have been no. We want to make sure, and we're not going to allow in somebody who is going to distract from that. Morgan, you have been exemplary in the other things that you do, not just the cop shit. In speaking with I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that. You've been exemplary in more than just your duties. Your ability to speak with the public, inform them, educate them, and further prevent episodes from occurring in this community has just been outstanding. your ability to train other persons, and we've tasked you pretty heavy over the last week or so. Hurry, 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 and let's get these new folks up online. You're departing one of the most critical divisions that we have. In fact, it is the most critical. When the worst of those events happen, these are the men and women that we call in on the spot. And I apologize again because we don't make the phone call and say, hey, are you guys having a birthday party, or are you having a special event? We say, no, we need you, and we need you now. And you have always stood up to that. Your affiliation with organizations, and I will give the COPS organization a great big hand. Your affiliation with those shows tremendous character and commitment and loyalty to the law enforcement organization. Next, in about 2 weeks, we will, as Carson City, host a small event at the memorial. It too will not have visitors, will not be attended, and will not be a press release for it, because we do want to protect our employees, and we do want to abide by those rules and those recommendations that Health and Human Services has provided to us, that we avoid large gatherings, and we avoid putting our employees at risk. That being said, it happens every single day in this career field. You'll be moving to the detention center where across the country it is a challenge. People are coming into detention centers that normally in their day-to-day lives have very ill health, very low levels of medical care, and are susceptible to quite a few, not just coronavirus type issues, but other issues as well. It is absolutely important that you understand that the detention center presents the greatest risk to a law enforcement organization and a community. In other words, the liability. We are at absolute full care responsibility for everybody who comes into our custody. That's a responsibility that we cannot shirk or even downplay whatsoever. Everyone deserves a right to come out of that facility in a better shape and condition than when they entered. And we strive to do that. We have exceptional employees inside the detention center. They have proven time and time again that give us any sergeant and we will train him and make him the best that this organization has to provide. Your past, your present, and your future have all made that a bright light. And so with that, I will do the swearing, the oath of office that for a couple of months we've known we were going to give to you, but we wouldn't tell you. It was pretty good. It was hard. It was really hard. In fact, I even accused a few people of, come on, did you? Or so imagine this, because this is, as you know, normal for this organization. This room is filled. It is filled with your supporters, your peers, your friends, your families. It is full. And that's why we asked Rachel to be here for you today. So please raise your right hand, repeat after me. The oath is not to me, but to your peers, your families, and to the community itself, and we will get through. I, Morgan Tucker,
I, Morgan Tucker,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States
the Constitution and government of the United States
and the Constitution and government of the state of Nevada
and the Constitution and government of the state of Nevada
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
whether domestic or foreign,
whether domestic or foreign,
and that I will bear true faith,
and I will bear true faith,
allegiance, and loyalty to the same,
allegiance, and loyalty to the same,
any ordinance, resolution, or law
any ordinance, resolution, or law
of any state notwithstanding,
of any state notwithstanding,
and that I will bear true faith,
and I will
or excuse me, I'm sorry, and that I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
perform all of the duties
perform all of the duties
of the office of sergeant,
of the office of sergeant,
in which I am about to enter, so help me God.
in which I am about to enter, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Buddy. Thank you. Pretty cool. You look more excited than him. He didn't fall.
It's just because I wear it on the outside so
So who's pinning? You're on. Truly. Hey, social distancing. For those of you that are in the room that have not met Paul before, he was born and raised in the frigid Alaska. Where at in Alaska? Were there people there?
Not many.
And you have a brother and your parents, you went to college in Nebraska because you wanted where it was warm, and Nebraska ain't quite warm, where you met Holly, a Nebraska girl. Born in,
California girl.
what's that?
A California girl.
You were a California, you moved to Nebraska too? See, I'm telling you, fate.
Right?
And you were a social worker back then. The interesting piece is for decades, they have said law enforcement's more social workers than anything else.
Oh, really?
And that's a very, very true statement. We deal with problems that are less than the majority criminal in nature. They're more dealing with people in crisis and troubles and challenges, and they just cannot find their way through it. You graduated college in physics, with a degree in physics?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you're not making nuclear bombs here. And joined the Army. I do have a presentation for you about that. Joined the military intelligence and deployed to northern Iraq. Congratulations. From 2009 to 2010. How'd you like it?
I liked it.
It's pretty much the same as Nevada, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, everywhere I've been up there, it's just like, this is Nevada all over again. With a small team of the 109th and part of the 82nd Airborne. He left the military in 2011 and went into law enforcement in Wyoming, where he worked for 6 years at the Evanston Police Department and 2 years with the, I'm not even going to try it, the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
Okay, before coming to Nevada, where you brought your wife and your 2 exceptional kids. And now you're here. She ain't gonna look at me. I apologize. This is the 3rd ceremony this afternoon. Earlier in the afternoon, we promoted Lieutenant Earl Mays here in the back of the room. Sergeant Morgan Tucker in the back of the room. It has been a phenomenal day, and I assure you there would not be space available had we allowed it, because that's who we are, and I appreciate that. Being new here to this organization, I cannot stress to you more the plaque that is on the wall behind me with our values, our mission statement and such. They're not mere words. They are actionable items, and we follow up on those constantly at every endeavor, because we do want this organization to have the strongest law enforcement officers in the state. We want them to be the most educated officers in the state. We want them to have the highest career development certifications in the state, and we do lead in those categories. And those are all actionable, measurable items for us. We do want to work well within the community. And as you know, just from your past experience, that at times can be a challenge, and those challenges are on us today. Do we force people at home? Do we support, or how do we respond to the community demonstrations for differences of opinion? Those are balancing acts that we in law enforcement have to contend with all the time, and that it won't go away when the virus goes away. And so the code of ethics of law enforcement, which was true where you came from in your past and is true here today, reaches the highest levels. And our commitment, my commitment to you, is that we will do everything in our power to see to the happiness that you have here in the organization. I do ask that you retain and commit that to your family and to yourself. Because those employees who are the most sound employees, the best quality that we can get, also value that cherished special time with families, and that you as an individual continue with the hobbies that you already have in your life, because those are the things that will bring you the most amount of happiness. God knows I will call and say you have to come to work and it's a special occasion for the family and you don't get to play. That's the nature of the law enforcement business. God knows we will ask you to walk into a filthy room that is infested with germs and other things that you've seen in the past, and we don't allow you to pick and choose which ones you will go to. So the demand on you and your family is huge, and I hope that you spend as much time with them, and I say them, the two little ones are just darlings, not to exclude you, because that is what will make you a stronger person as you go through your career. And we hope that while you've jumped a couple of times, this is your anchor, and that you will continue to go through your career here and enjoy all the prosperity and career opportunities that we have to offer. So with that, it is customary, and I tell everyone, the oath of office is not to me. It is to your peers, your family, your friends, and to the community. And so as we go through this ceremony, you won't be looking at me, kind of in the area of the camera, because that's where the 50 plus people would be in this room. And we will get through this. Again, this is a tremendously large move for this department. And I'm very, very proud of the two back here, as well as Captain Wall, who will surely drive you through hell. And but you will be very, very successful. Keep a balance and keep your alert ears up. So with that, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. And don't lock your knees or fall over, because you've done this before, even in the military. Okay? I, Paul Robbins,
I, Paul Robbins,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States
the Constitution and government of the United States
and the Constitution and government of the state of Nevada
and the Constitution and government of the state of Nevada
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
whether domestic or foreign,
whether domestic or foreign,
and that I will bear true faith,
and that I will bear true faith,
allegiance, and loyalty to the same,
allegiance, and loyalty to the same,
any ordinance, resolution, or law
any ordinance, resolution, or law
of any state notwithstanding,
of any state notwithstanding,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
perform all of the duties
perform all of the duties
of the office of Deputy Sheriff,
of the office of Deputy Sheriff,
on which I'm about to enter, so help me God.
of which I am about to enter, so help me God.
Congratulations, buddy. Thank you so much. I look forward to this. Come on back over here.